Welcome. Ziggy1X here with another NieR reincarnation video. We got a lot of news dropped on us in the last day or so, and I'm going to break this into a few parts here. This video is going to be strictly spoiler free, but my next video is going to be chock full of spoilers and drops for what's coming up in the anniversary banners, the new series of costumes we're getting, what they look like, a little bit of a deep dive into what karma is and a few things like this. Going to be more speculation on the karma side, but there's also going to be some speculation on new abilities that may or may not be affecting Arena in the not too distant future. So that's going to be for another video. This video is entirely going to be for this right here. So this is our unit appreciation, our unit popularity poll, and these are the units that we got voted in. There are 10 of them. And as you can see, there are some exceptional units in here. Celebratory Serapha, Yule Gale, NieR Yuri, and Celebratory Yuzuki. Those right there are all still meta-defining units. So what does this mean for us here? Let's take a look at this. Right now, I'm going to jump over here to what these stats look like on these characters. And I think that this is important to point out. You can see over here on the attack, I'm going to go ahead and put my pointer over here, 10,927. That is basically 11,000 attack for A2. Top tier attack. Kaine, very similar. Or I'm sorry, 0, very similar. A2 or 2B a little lower, and so on and so forth. Even here, Kaine has very high defense, and she's even got a big Aegis passive, which is probably what's in part boosting up her defense. You got Udil, you got things like this, for example, right here. His character skill actually got buffed. His character skill was already busted to the moon. And so what you can see here is every single one of these characters, these costumes on this popularity contest got a big buff. So what does this mean for us? Well, let's talk a little bit about the banner here real quickly. We'll jump on over to our summons. And this is something that is going to be very, very interesting to newer players. You can see I already did a 10 poll on this just because, for kicks and giggles. But this is going to be very good for newer players, and I'll tell you why. This banner, as you can see here, it has a 10% rate, which means that in theory, in a 10 poll, you are very likely going to get one of these units, and it's always going to be one of these units. So not only are the rates insanely boosted, but you're also going to have a much better chance of getting these units. Okay, not all of these units are meta as far as meta goes. The older units did receive significant buffs to their stats to really bring them up to par, but the stats are only the first piece of the puzzle. There's the stats and then there's the passives. For example, let's go ahead and take our most recent Final Fantasy XIV Udil. Now, what makes him special? Not only does he have top tier stats, which are on par with these units, they're very equal in that sense in a lot of ways, but Udil in his passives also has a 50%, this is a flat multiplier on top of his damage, not scaling from the attack, but on top of his damage. This is a flat 50% multiplier based off of Pursuit, which is number of chains in an attack. And basically what that means is that whenever he does 4 or more hits, or whenever he's in an attack chain that is at 4 or more hits, he is immediately doing 50% more damage. That is an insane damage steroid, and these older costumes just don't have this, but Udil does. Okay, this is our celebratory Dark Element Udil. He has Void Pursuit, which means if he's equipped with a Dark main hand weapon, he gets 50% increased attack on attacks with chains of 4 or more. So these are good units. And if you are a new player or a returning player and you happen to just so benefit from that 28,000 gem deposit that the rest of us veteran players are really wishing we had gotten a hold of, well, this may not be a bad banner for you to dive into, because there are 3 elements of top tier attacks: dark, light, and wind, all meta. And then on top of that, we have one of the best healers in the game in here. So the chances of you getting a really excellent roster from this single banner is very, very high. And let's just go ahead and put this to the test. Now, I've got terrible luck, but we're going to do this live and see what happens. I'm going to blow a few of my tickets just to you know, because I can and for posterity's sake. I'm really not as interested in diving into this banner as I am for the anniversary banner, just for my own reasons. Again, we'll dive into that later. But let's go ahead and take a look at what we get here. Mama, please give me something good. Okay, the status quo remains unchanged. There is a 1 in 10 chance and I got 1. So bare minimum for me. And that is my Awakening 5 for A2. Okay, cool. I've got 5% crit rate debris now. That's great. It's a very outdated debris, but hey, whatever. So basically what you're going to be getting here, this is a pity at 150 pulls banner. And so you're going to have a lower ceiling. That would have been so cool if that had been another 4-star. All right. Okay, cool. So you got a lower ceiling, which means that 150 to pick whatever unit you want, 10% rate, which is significantly higher than what we usually have. And if you're a newer player, there's a lot of really good stuff in here. I have most of these units. The only unit that would be a good takeaway, like an exceptional takeaway from me out of this banner, would be NieR's Yuri. But I don't have to worry about her as much because we have another very, very good wind DPS coming up soon. And so my interest in this banner has kind of waned a little bit because of that. I'm a veteran player. I've got a pretty flushed out account, but I still to this day do not have a dedicated wind DPS. Again, this is a very tempting banner for me because of that reason alone. But I've got most of the other units that I need in here, and I'm good with that. Again, this is an exceptional deal for newer players, and this is just a PSA that I'm throwing out here for you guys. We also have Divine F66 or 063Y. He is very good. He is a very good light support. And Farplane and others already did a video on him, but he's good. He's very good, and he basically is just a light steroid for light-only teams. So if you're looking for that kind of power and subjugation, or if you're looking to just take your light damage to the moon, this is a great guy for it. Not to mention, look at those stats. Top tier stats across the board. His weapon is also very good, okay? It has got the Lucid Haste and the Lucid Boot combo, very good, but there are a lot of other weapons already that have that in the light element. So again, not a must pull for that reason. Now, we also have the Abyssal Boar, and he is a excellent fire damage dealer, and pretty much primarily fire damage. Here's the hang up with him though. You do not get his pursuit, which thankfully is not element locked, but his character skill does have elements of it that are element locked. You do not get his pursuit until Awakening 3. This means you need to have 4 copies of him to really unlock his full damage potential. So be advised with that, especially in light of the exceptional banner that we have here. If you are a newer player, if you really need a dedicated fire DPS, you might want to hold on Udeal for a few days, just saying. And if you really need a dedicated wind DPS, you might want to hold on NieR Fury for a few days, or Furiosa, there we go. NieR Yuri for a few days. I'm going to dive into this a little bit more in the next video. So the question is, should you pull on this banner? If you're missing NieR Gale, or Yule Gale, if you're missing NieR Yuri, if you're missing Udeal, if you're missing all these guys, Serapha, all these others, then this is an exceptional banner to pull on. These are the best rates you are probably ever going to see on these characters. And there are characters in here, costumes in here, that are not on the Mama Choice Exchange Medal banner, because that only covers till up to Christmas of last year, whereas this covers all the way up through just the recent anniversary. So that's going to be it. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, and I hope you guys are getting excited for some of the things that we're going to be seeing during the anniversary. Quick video. Peace out, y'all. Have a great one. I'll talk to you later. Bye.